Hello Libra, my name is Alison and you are with Healing Dove Tarot. We're going to have a look at the love energy surrounding you from the 19th to the 25th of November. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that Venus has now gone direct. However, Mercury has gone retrograde. Can't win, right? So we're still in this little phase of reflecting upon the past and kind of who we are. We're still, any of us who haven't got the lessons in the Venus retrograde, it's like another double whammy. It's like, okay, you didn't get it that time, I'm going to bring it back to you now. The good news is that your reading is quite positive, especially as we end this week with a full moon. As we get past that full moon, that's, I think, when for you it'll complete. And as we start that new week coming in on the 26th, you're really going to see a big shift when it comes to your love energy. But let's get started. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands speaks about creative endeavors. It's a love reading, I get that, but I always like to read it as I see it. You could be starting a new venture, a new job, okay? Something that allows you to have the freedom to be quite creative, Libra. If it's not that, it could be that your partner and you are really trying to align when it comes to your connection. I really like in this deck how the illustration shows these wands that are the wands of fire, right? It's like this passionate fire. They're both lit up. They're both steaming, full steam ahead. And I feel like for you, if this is you and your partner, you're going to have a little bit of a bump this week, but you're finally going to start to feel like you're vibing at the same level. Like you're on that same kind of train track, same goal, both working towards the same thing, which is awesome, Libra. You do, however, start off with a little bit of challenging energy. You've got the Five of Wands coupled with the Princess of Cups. So it could be that you're having kind of like, petty arguments, or you've got like, you're nitpicking at each other. That's the best way to explain this card combination. You're kind of nitpicking at each other, which then can lead to like full-blown arguments. Just Mercury rules communication, okay? Travel, communication, electronics. Be very careful with how you're communicating to each other via text or via social media, because it can very easily escalate. And you're so close to building this beautiful foundation with your person. If you are coupled, like look at it, you've got you, them, and then you've got this beautiful seed of your relationship that's growing right at the root. So you're so close to actually making this happen. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up over something menial that really isn't going to matter the next day, okay? And this is the whole point of why we watch tarot, to actually get these kind of messages that come up, so that we don't go back and go, oh yeah, she was right, but so that we catch ourselves in the moment and go, hey, I remember hearing something like that there was going to be this petty argument and I should probably not make a big deal about it, because what's it worth in the end? Still something I'm trying to learn. But I think that's the kind of invitation for you, Libra. It's like pick and choose your battles, yeah? It's the best way I can explain it. But what's really sweet here is we have a couple, we have a pair. I always love when cards fall like this, because I look for symbolism. We have the Princess of Cups coupled with the Prince of Cups, and then sitting directly diagonal of that is the Hierophant. So a Taurus could be quite prevalent for you here, as well as another air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But for me, this speaks about making a commitment, okay? This is a pair. It doesn't matter that they're the Page and the Knight of Cups, okay? It could be that the person you're dating is quite young at heart, quite young in spirit, but I feel like regardless, it's showing me a pair, it's showing me a couple that are really committing to each other, that are committed to each other, that are on the same path, right? So she's kind of up here, he's looking up at her, he's extending his hand, his cup of love. And the way it's kind of fallen on the board for you is she's up here, he's extending his hand of love up to her, and then you've got at the very basis of it, the spiritual connection. Okay, so for some of you, this could very well be something that leads to a commitment of marriage, or of some sort of formal commitment if you don't believe in marriage, because it's coupled with the sun. Okay, beautiful. Look at how bright that is. It's almost like hurting my eyes from the glare of just showing it up to you to the camera. But, to fall like that, the sun on the Hierophant, is showing me that whatever this connection is, all the shit around it does not matter. okay? When you actually step back and think about the fact of how limited life is, it really doesn't matter that the washing didn't get done or the dusting didn't get done properly, right? It's just, I think, take that moment to step back and think about all the beautiful qualities of why you fell in love with the person in the first place, because it is the person that could be your life partner, that could make you very, very happy. For others of you, there's still a lot of tension. You've got a lot of fire. You've got 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. So I'm seeing this progression. As I said to you, for a minority of you, depending on what deacon you are when it comes to your astrology, some of you haven't quite learnt the lesson and let go yet. And it's still about, look at all this wands and this arguing and this kind of fighting. You can see it across in the picture. It's still like you're emotionally reacting without thinking, Libra, which, you know, no one can ever blame you for not thinking, because you think a lot, incredibly, into some fanatical detail sometimes. Like, it's just blows my mind. And I have a lot of beautiful friends that are actually in the sign of Libra. But I think sometimes, you know, it's really that old adage or saying, however you want to say it, of pick and choose your battles, right? What's it worth? Is it worth getting this person offside that is actually the person that brings you the sunshine, that's committed to you, that wants to give you this beautiful happiness? What's it worth? Pick and choose your battles. Now, for those that are single, I know I focused a little bit on couples here. There's someone that wants to really connect with you, okay? They could be younger than you, and maybe you're a little bit hesitant. You're kind of like, oh, dare I say it, even like your ego's up a little bit, like, what do you have to offer to me? And this person's going, well, let me show you. I want to build a foundation with you, okay? I've said this before, and this is a personal belief, so take it with a grain of salt as you will, but age is irrelevant. It's really about the connection, and really about how that person makes you feel, and if you are going on the same path together, right? If you're really trying to achieve the same thing, if you're really lit in the same way, if you're really fired up about each other, it doesn't matter, right? This is all that matters, because in the end, that's the whole thing that keeps us going. It's that beautiful, passionate connection. The age is irrelevant, and that's really important to someone listening, okay? And it could be quite a considerable gap. 9, 10 years. Five to 10 years. Yeah. But, you know, I think you already know how they make you feel. Very grounded, very passionate, very lit up. Okay, let's draw for you some additional guidance. Can I please have additional guidance for singles? What do singles need to know? Please show me. Thank you. Detach. And couples, please show me. What do couples need to know? One card for couples, please. Oh, it flipped right there. Interesting. Another one that flipped too. Yeah. It's really so funny. 33 and 32. Chaos and conflict here and now. So this talks very much about being in the present, and feels like there's a lot going on. And this is what I was talking about that banter, that arguing, and just let go of the past, be in the present. But I'll read for you the meanings in a moment. Singles, detach, number 11. So this is the card of justice, which represents your sign, right? Let me read it for you though. Reflect, accept, decide, responsibility, fairness, and clarity. Sometimes our ego prevents us from seeing events clearly. It's time to detach emotionally from a relationship or a situation so you can step back and reevaluate. Reflect upon how the relationship is working. Is it satisfying? What role do you play in its harmony or disharmony? An honest appraisal is required in order to gain clarity and help you better understand what might need to be done to improve it. This is true even if the relationship is already a good one. Okay, so singles, it could be about the role that you play in your relationships, okay? That's the whole point of Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. It's to look back. Why didn't it work? What can I do to work on myself so that I'm giving my very best self, not half of me, so that I'm bringing the best version of myself. So I'm being clear in how I communicate. That doesn't mean you have to change yourself or do anything like that. It's about reflecting upon, the ego role that you play in relationships. And we all have ego. Couples, 33, 32, chaos and conflict and here and now. Okay, so 32 speaks about being fully present in the moment, living one day at a time. It's easy to yearn for a love affair or friendship you may not have right now, one that is more romantic, more fun, more reliable, and more passionate. The good old days are gone and a new day has dawned. Let your heart trust that you have everything you need right now, whether you have the relationship you desire or not. Tomorrow is beyond your reach. Yesterday cannot return. The now is all that is available to you. Stay present and aware that in this moment, as you cherish and approve of your beautiful self, you're a magnet for love. There you go. And it's coupled with chaos and conflict, which is what I see all through this reading. Disarray, being at cross purposes with one another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order, because order is coming. Stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. What did I say about ego? That came up on the single side as well. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you'll be in a much better place than before. For the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened again, always better than before if you use this time constructively. So the invitation there is what I've been saying all along through your entire reading and what will be the title of this reading. Pick and choose your battles, Libra. Is it worth it? I hope you found this reading helpful. If you did, please like, share and subscribe and I'll be back with you next week. Take care.